Hi folks, right, another gentle scene. I think I do like painting meadows and wetlands, heaths, but the temptation is to put too much in. It's what you leave out that is the important thing. Now I've just wet this, so I can go in now with my background colours. So I put in some raw sienna. I don't usually draw at first. I just make it up as I go along. That's why they all end up differently, even though the subject is the same. Right, now this paper is so gorgeous. It's £90. Saunders Waterford's £90 cold pressed paper. I buy 220 sheet blocks at the same time, so that I've always got some. Let's just get that. That's a bit bouncy there. Right, that was it. Put in a bit of blue. We'll just don't like that. That's a bit. Right. Nice. Let's put a bit of red on that horizon there. Just a touch. Alright, we'll just go all over that. We'll have a bit of cloud here and there. So Payne's grey, but not Payne's grey, ultramarine, and a bit of light red. Don't know why they call it light red, because there's nothing light about this. My hake is misbehaving a bit. Look, a bit of a nuisance, that is. Should come together if you just work away at it, but it's not behaving at the moment. Right, let's put a little bit of low cloud in. Just take some of the water out of that, and then we'll just put in a bit low down here. Let's see what happens to that. Just sort of bank of clouds, and while that is wet, put in. I was going to put in a bit of a background, but I don't really want anything on there. Ooh, that's a bit heavy, isn't it? We can dry brush over some of that, I think. I'm sort of always thinking of Norfolk when I do these flat ones. But you've got Essex, Suffolk, parts of Suffolk. Plenty of areas of flatness. Now, while they're still drying, you can do a lot of stuff on it. But it's when it starts to dry and the shine starts to go off of the paper. That's when you have to leave it alone. Right. Oops. We're going to dry it now. And okay, we've got our sky. Now I'm going to put a gentle wash of a bluey colour to give a bit of perspective to that, a bit of aerial perspective. But it's just a bit of alizarin. Makes a little bit of Payne's grey. Get a nice cool colour. And we'll, we're going uphill there, so just be careful of that. It's essentially a flat, this landscape, but looking towards some hills. Norfolk is not all flat. It's not flat around the Wash or the north coast of on the Wash of Norfolk. It's absolutely gorgeous, and Cromer is the highest point on the east coast. Well, in that county anyway. Right, so let's. That is doing some stuff up there, but we're going to cover over that. Right, now let's get some sort of burnt sienna, bit of meadowy stuff. Burnt sienna, bit of raw sienna, bit of Payne's grey, bit of gamboge. Let's see what happens. The paper is nice, thin, but it's got quite a tooth to it. It's got a bit of light. Yeah, I'll put a bit of Payne's grey in that. Right, okay, that'll do. Now that looks like trees in the background there. So it's sort of dried in a bit, but anyway, that's okay. Probably could have done that a bit darker. No, I'll give it a dry, just so we can carry on. Pause. Now we can still dry brush over that. It's nice and dry now, but I'm a bit worried about that. So we'll put in some very light background, something or other. A bit green, bit of yellow. Now that's a sort of repair. So that's the distance, with more distance behind. Now we'll put in some blue and Payne's grey, bit of yellow. Oh, a bluey green. Let's mix that in there. But it needs to be quite stiff, like almost tube consistency. There, otherwise it will just bleed too much into that background. Well, it's going to do that anyway, isn't it? Right, let's just clean my fingers. Pick up some more of that. So I find that watercolour painting is it is going from mistake to mistake. I'm making the most of it. Ooh, what was that? Something bounced off of there. Just get a bit of undulation on there, just to show that they are obviously trees. Right, okay, well that's sort of done there. So where do we go from here? Well, let's put in a nice gamboge yellow in here. And made a little bit of raw sienna. A bit of Payne's grey and a bit of heavier green down here. To let that dry a bit. Just wonder if that will lift out a little bit up here. Just lifts a little bit, but it'll probably feel filling. Again, don't like that. It's gone a bit high then, isn't it? Right, okay. It's going to be an exercise in editing. Right, going to just try that now. What I like doing is occasionally is to just get a hold of this light yellow, this gamboge, and just drag it over some of that background. It needs to be almost tube consistency, just get a bit of light coming in. Touch of water, I think. Oops. Yeah. Hopefully will dry in and give us a bit light. It's a bit heavy on that horizon. It's not gouache, it's watercolour. If you use gouache, you've really got to decide whether you want it to be watercolour or mixed media. Right, now that should hopefully dry in. Right, now we'll put a bit of texture in now for the foreground. I'm going to use this Jackson's own brush because it's got a nice sort of undulating edge. You see that? I've probably lost the focus now. Right, there we go. Right, let's go with the nice green, Payne's grey, and lovely yellow. So I'll do a bit of heath. Rough ground. A bit more Payne's grey. You can leave it all dry brushed, but I like to put a bit of character in. We'll have a bit of Payne's grey and just get that in, just to darken here, bits here and there. Right, I'm going to put in some burnt sienna. Just to warm it up a bit. And you have a bit of raw sienna as well, just to give that undulation in the field. Because I've noticed that when you've got a lot of grass, you've also got a lot of grass lower down or on the side. I can't remember now, but you do have quite a bit of raw sienna or yellow ochre in the grass. Right, now we can put some bushes into that when that dries a bit. And while that's drying, I won't dry it again, but if you missed this little demo here, this was a perspective finder invented by my old friend, late friend, Fred Gillespie, one of the great watercolourists, landscape painters of Britain. That's my opinion, but he used to sell quite a lot of paintings in the Mall Gallery and every exhibition they ever went in, I think. But sadly, at 88, he finally gave up. He invented all sorts of things. This is the perspective finder. If you imagine you're out painting on location and you want to check the angle of the roof as it goes away, you can just do that and you've got it. Or you can do that. Very useful, provided you've got the thing horizontal. I mean, you can't do it usually on here, but you can if you're working from a photograph. You can, a pencil, you can do that sort of thing. Oh. And just gently draw in. Very, very useful. But I've never used it seriously. I've never used it outdoors. Well, I don't do any location painting. I do everything in my studio. But these can be bought from Ken Bromley in the UK. He markets well for Fred. They did know each other quite well. Ken Bromley and Fred Gillespie. But he lived about 5 or 6 miles from here. We saw quite a lot of him when he was towards the end of his life. Lovely guy. He was an inventor, sign writer, engineer, brilliant engineer. He made my boom. I can't show you it because the camera's attached to it, but it works beautifully. I've got the boom is well, it's quite on it, and it's got a tube in a tube, and I can pull it out from the main tube, which is at the top of my mic stand, counterbalanced with a couple or 3 heavy weights, because I've got the camera probably 2.5 times is the distance from the fulcrum, and it's absolutely superb. I have to use bits of cardboard as like a gasket underneath the camera, so it actually, because when you wind it onto the thread, the thread goes in too far, a little bit too far. But you make little gaskets out of bits of cardboard, and it's fine, absolutely fabulous. Right, okay, now we're going to put in some bushes. Now I'm going to use this little hake, Frank Clark's hake. Right, where will we put some trees? I just wonder whether we've got to put some trees on that horizon, haven't we? So let's go a bit of Payne's Grey, a bit of gamboge. And we'll just come up here into there, just break through that tip. Now that's dry brushing, all right? Probably too much. Bit of water. It's a lovely little brush. when you dry brush, try to leave some air in the trees for birds to fly through. We'll put a, well, that's a bit darker there, we can put a bit of shadowy colour in there. Coming down here. Okay, that looks quite good. The shadowy stuff. Oh, we're going to do something similar, but not exactly the same over the other side. Too much water. It's all about the water on the brush, really, and the lightness of touch. Oh, let's put one. Let's just go mad here. A bit of Payne's grey. Let's get underneath there and the shadowy stuff. Oh, let's get another one in. Silence. I'm concentrating or whistling under my breath. Do that when I'm sort of contented. Apparently, according to my wife though, she tells me to shut up. Okay, now let's get a bit of a push in the middle, towards the middle there, anyway. Payne's grey and gamboge. There we are. Now that's sort of almost dry there. I'm going to dry it, but I'm not going to ask you to. Well, can you just take your headphones off while I do this? I want to dry it. Save another addition to the edit. Ready, go. Now I want to brighten up a lot of this now, the foreground. So I'm going to use the yellow, that lovely brilliant gamboge. And I'll just no white, just using the paint almost out of the tube, really, just get that up there. It's got a bit of raw sienna in there as well. Right, now then, we want some bushy stuff in there, some heavy grass, some dark grass really, could just get it to show. Just the sort of stuff you will get in a fallow field or meadow, rough land. Needs a bit of a mow. But I don't want to do too much. I probably have done too much. No, I think I've probably overdone that now. Right, let's put some of that yellow back. Right, okay, I'm going to let that go. I'll put a couple of birds in. I've overdone that. But, as usual, I can always paint on the other side. Okay. Right, put that in the large amounts. Wipe my hands. Oh, good. Just tape it first. Bit of tape here. Oh, this is one that I did some years ago. Now, it's done very well on YouTube. It's probably quite a few thousand, tens of thousands on that one. That was in acrylic, probably. I will be going back to acrylic and oils in the next session. I've got quite a lot that I can paint over. Right, mounts. One hair drop. Just about goes, look. Could do a little bit of this. Can't go over the wet paint because they'll just dry in, dry straight in. Okay, well there we are. Another meadow, another salt meadow. What was flashing? Oh, so I hope you like that one. Sort of an indifferent sky, isn't it? Really, sort of clouds coming over to pour in some rain or bring in some rain. But the trees, I like the trees. The whole picture down here is a bit dark, but then it's a dark day. Anyway, see you soon, folks. Thanks for looking in. Bye bye.